Stephen A.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the challenge.
Now, knowing you, I know that you're aware of the things that people are saying. You're moving up in two-weight classes. You're the smaller man. Whatever you do, Terence Crawford, don't exchange against them. What do you feel you have to do?
Be myself. I'm 41-0 for a reason.
Was undefeated for the last half of his career.
For over 2 decades, everyone believed Floyd Mayweather's 50-0 record could never be touched. He was the ghost in the ring, a defensive wizard who made legends look ordinary. But after one historic night, a single explosive statement from the only man to face them both threatened to tear that monument down. The debate wasn't just about who was better anymore, it was about whether Mayweather's entire era had just been eclipsed. The firestorm began when Terence Crawford's hand was raised against Canelo Alvarez after a masterful performance many thought was impossible.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight.
But the real shock came at the post-fight press conference. Asked to compare Crawford to Floyd Mayweather, Canelo didn't hesitate with the world's media hanging on his every word. His answer wasn't just an opinion, it was a bombshell.
You can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
And it sent shockwaves through the sport. That single sentence reignited a debate that had been simmering for years and soon drew a powerful voice into the conversation. Stephen A. Smith, watching from the sidelines, was captivated. Like many, he expected Crawford to stay on the outside, use his technical skill, and outbox the bigger, stronger man. But that's not what happened. Instead, Crawford stepped into the fire. He exchanged with Canelo, proving he had more than just skill, he had grit.
Well, I appreciate Crawford making my prediction come through. Coming into the fight, I had him winning by decision. I thought he was the superior boxer. I thought he would be able to take a punch. And as long as he didn't stay there and exchange with Canelo, I thought he could do it. What surprised me is that there were times during the fight, he did stand there and exchange with Canelo and took it. Took some body shots to the liver, took some headshots, exchanged, and still ended up winning this fight. I thought from the 8th round on, he just put on a boxing clinic. But I gotta give credit where credit is due. Crawford deserved to win the fight.
As Stephen A. put it, what I didn't expect was for him to stand in there and exchange and survive. And survive he did on several occasions. That's why Smith gave him so much credit. Breaking down the fight, he explained that he had it scored 5-4 for Crawford after 9 rounds, before Crawford dominated the last 3 decisively. Crawford absorbed Canelo's power and fired back, thriving in moments where smaller men should have crumbled.
Crawford's a special fighter because he's got a mean streak. He doesn't back up from anything. He's usually the superior boxer in the ring. He finds a way to win. No matter who he's going up against, no matter what power you have, what boxing skills you have, he is truly a generational kind of fighter. He wants to go in the ring and not just beat you, but show you he was a better man. And he's not one who believes that just a knockout does that. He likes outboxing you and showing you that his skill level is superior to yours. And he showed it tonight.
Stephen A. praised it as a masterclass. But even with that performance, he wasn't ready to dethrone the king because he remembered another master, a phantom in the ring. And that phantom was Floyd Mayweather.
Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much. And literally walked in the ring and said, I'm going to embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
This is where Smith drew the line. He reminded everyone that Floyd was a defensive enigma, a magician who built his career on winning without getting hit. With brittle, damaged hands through the second half of his career, Floyd couldn't rely on knockout power. That wasn't speculation, it was documented. Mayweather himself admitted his hands were brittle, even revealing he couldn't spar for a full month before fighting Conor McGregor. Adding more intrigue, reports suggest that in the latter half of his career,
Mayweather looks me in my face and he says, I'm gonna take him out about the 8th or 9th round. And I said, your hand's always broken. You ain't known for your punching power since you moved up from lightweight to welterweight. Why are you so sure you're gonna do this? He said, Stephen A., he's a UFC fighter. He said, and he's a striker. He's accustomed to coming at you and throwing punches. What he's not accustomed to doing is punching while he's throwing backwards, while he's moving backwards and pushing you off of him. He says, I'm gonna walk right into him and stay in his chest. He's gonna have to push me off in order to throw his punches. He said he's gonna be circling the ring. He said by around 4 or 5, he's not gonna have any legs. He's gonna be done. And he said, and I'll just toy with him and keep him around until around the 8th or the 9th round. And that is exactly what Floyd Money Mayweather did. He told me exactly what he was gonna do, and he did it.
He's the man.
Mayweather fought almost exclusively in Las Vegas, one of the few places that allowed fighters to use numbing injections like xylocaine for hand pain. His hands shaped his strategy, and his strategy made him untouchable.
You hurt your hand? Huh? I thought you hurt your hand. How about so? Okay. All right. Relax, baby. The job is done. All right.
Put in a bucket of ice, man. Get a bucket of ice. It's killing me.
I'm saying Shane hit me with a hell of a shot. Okay. Actually, 2 shots. Oh, okay. But even in that particular round, what I said to Shane was this. I was like,
you just said something to him when you grabbed him.
I said, you got to kill me.
Oh, shit.
I said,
I wasn't ready, Floyd.
I said, that was a good one. I said, that was a good one, but you got to kill me. Wow. I said, you got to kill me. And then I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean.
That reality fueled conspiracies and added another layer to the debate Crawford's win had reignited. So where does that leave us? The echoes of greatness are complicated. On one side is Floyd Mayweather, the undefeated defensive genius who built not only a flawless career, but also a financial empire. On the other side stands Terence Crawford.
Rocky Marciano was 49-0. Before Floyd got to 50-0, he was a heavyweight champ. Did anyone ever consider Rocky Marciano the GOAT? No, not seriously, no. Why would Floyd be considered the GOAT? Because he beat more fighters than Rocky did, more great ones? That's true. But really, Floyd was careful in the way he selected opponents. Don't get that twist. It's not that Floyd didn't fight a lot of great fighters. He did. It's not that I don't think he would have beaten a lot of the tougher fighters than he fought. I think he probably would have, but he didn't do it. He waited. He waited till Pacquiao wasn't at his best anymore. He didn't fight Margarito when Margarito was tearing everyone up. He waited for the right time to fight people. He got paid twice as much for fighting Pacquiao in a less dangerous fight than he would have had he fought him when everyone wanted to see him fight. Floyd is among the all-time greats, but he ain't number.
The versatile, relentless warrior who became the first man to completely conquer 3 divisions, taking on all challengers without hesitation. Stephen A. Smith's warning wasn't just about who might win in a fantasy matchup. It was about redefining greatness itself. Is greatness the untouchable artist who never showed a flaw? Or the fearless conqueror who walked through fire and claimed everything in his path? The final answer may not be found in their records, but in what each man forced us to believe was possible inside the ring. So that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss our uploads. And share your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think stands taller, Mayweather or Crawford? Stay tuned and we'll catch you in the next one.